Science fans, how you doing? Middle of mocks, look at all this revision on my board, it's chaos. So I was thinking, you know how I look super old? Oh God, I've just seen, look at these bags. It's teaching you lot. You know how I look super old and you're super young? Why do people age? How do people grow? How do some things reproduce? So many questions, so little time. Today we're going to start with mitosis and then we're going to move on to meiosis. This is going to help you for biology paper 1, mitosis, the cell cycle. This is cell cycle. And then biology paper 2, when we talk about asexual reproduction. And then link that to sexual reproduction. So we're going to do that now. Let's go. Boom. I feel like I have to mention her. This is Nina. Nina's coming on this magical science journey with us. Let's go. Two types of reproduction, sexual and asexual. So we're going to talk mostly about asexual reproduction today, but we need to know the major differences between them. So sexual reproduction has 2 parents. Asexual reproduction only has 1 parent. The offspring in sexual reproduction will have variation. And the reason why they have variation is that gametes, so egg cells and sperm cells or pollen and eggs, whatever it is, provide half of the genetic information each to the new offspring. So even if you look more like your mum or look more like your dad, half of your genetic information will come from your mum and half of your genetic information will come from your dad. This is a really good thing because the more variation that we have within a species, the more change and evolution that can happen. In asexual reproduction, we have no variation. All of the offspring means babies, if you were wondering, all of the offspring are clones, which means that they are genetically identical to the parent. Okay, this can cause some vulnerabilities, particularly if there is no resistance against disease and things like that. Now, humans do sexual reproduction and they produce gametes by doing meiosis, which we'll do in another video. We also do the process that asexual organisms do as well, which is called mitosis. And the way I remember it is mitosis happens in my toes. Toes aren't sexy. So sexual reproduction involves meiosis, asexual reproduction does not. So let's move on to talk about the process of mitosis, otherwise known as the cell cycle. Let's do it. Like I said, humans do mitosis, but not to reproduce. We just reproduce cells. So we reproduce cells if we are growing. So as you grow up from a child, you need to make more cells. So we reproduce our cells and to repair tissue. So for example, if I was to hit my hand really hard against here, I'm probably going to damage some of my cells. So my cells would do mitosis to reproduce them. Otherwise, I would continuously be losing cells and losing cells and losing cells, and so eventually disappear. And this is how the aging process comes out. I'll talk about that more in a minute. But also organisms, simple organisms, do this to reproduce. Okay, and it's asexual reproduction, so you need to know the stages. So like I said, otherwise known as the cell cycle, okay, and it is cell division. Mitosis is cell division. So if I have a normal cell, now in a human this would be a diploid cell with 23 pairs of chromosomes, but I'm not going to draw those, so I'm just going to draw those 2. Okay, so there are 2 chromosomes in the nucleus of that cell. Okay, the first stage is replication. So the DNA replicates itself and so it doubles. So the content of chromosomes in the nucleus doubles. The nuclear envelope then breaks down, okay, and half the chromosomes go to each end of the cell. We call them the poles. And then eventually they split into 2 new cells that we call daughter cells. And these are genetically identical clones to the parent cell. So they're genetically identical, they're no different. So if I hurt myself and wanted to replace a skin cell, this is how I do it. If I was a bacteria and wanted to reproduce, this is how I would do it. If you draw this picture when they ask you about the cell cycle or mitosis, you will get credit for it. So it is worth noting, but you also need to be able to describe it in steps. Very well done if you noticed a costume change, but the bag still remains. So the reason why I've got bags under my eyes is because I'm tired, but also because I'm getting to a point now where my cells aren't replenishing as much. So each cell that you own has something called a Hayflick limit. So it can do mitosis 50 times. Once it's reached that Hayflick limit, no more mitosis, which means you get things like this, wrinkles. I mean, I look pretty good for my age, but I am aging, and that's why. So when your cells stop reproducing, stop doing mitosis, this happens, and then we get some cells that don't follow the law of the Hayflick limit. They keep dividing and dividing and dividing and dividing and doing lots of mitosis, and that's how we get tumours and cancer. And that's why it's quite so difficult, because if the cells masticize and go somewhere else in the body, we're in trouble. But that's it: sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction, and mitosis. I'll do meiosis on the next go. Okay, did you get all that, Nina? Nina is from Geelong in Australia. Good luck on the biology, Milk. See you later.